So this other cob on the outside, Dursley is his name. He's just coming up here, he don't care. Also, if you look at him, if we talk about him for a minute, he's very, very relaxed. He can't see over the brow of this. You know, I'm up higher than he is, so my vision's further on than he's just seeing what I just saw, in other words. But he's got no trepidation of anything coming out of there. He's been up this road quite a few times now, and he's seen great big lorries. And when you're down that side of the hill, obviously the lorry to him looks like he's coming out the ground as it climbs up the hill, you know, the truck. So, steady baby. So this is just a nice exercise. So the other thing is, I believe I'm right, that this pony is a little bit claustrophobic. It doesn't like being confined, yeah? So it's better to use his own species to confine him, yeah? Because obviously he must have run in a herd at some time in his life when he ran alongside his mum, you know. So that's a good thing to do. So we can squash him in like this, but if I bring the two outside horses in tight, you know, he can feel the poles up either side of him. Steady, babe. So it's lots of teaching different things going on at the same time, and that's why we've done this today. Another time we'll do this, put them in Trandem, you know, when we got that many horses in to do and they just need basic exercise and having a look round, like this funny old thing coming down here now. They don't like these horses because they don't see many of them. Like a golf cart sort of gator, I think they call him in America, something along them lines like that. But you see this horse here, he's just going along like perfectly happy, looking at that. It's a bit funny. If you think about it, if someone dropped a coat or, you know, a sack or something on the road, anything on the road, you know, that was dropped, we don't know what it is, so we stare at it, look at it as we approach, you know, to see whether we can drive over it, what it is, you know, before we drive over it. I mean, if put it this way, if it was a great big piece of timber and you couldn't make out what it was till you got it, you wouldn't drive over it, would you? But if it was just a rag, you maybe would. So come up, baby. You see him now, like with his traffic, he's got his head turned out looking at the people, you know, which is lovely. So he's, as far as his traffic goes, he's happy now, he's good. This one is being crowded by two horses, but also you've seen what I've done with him, taking him to the curb. And as I say, if you've done it 2 days running, we overload that horse in the middle and he'd take a step back. And his attitude would be, no, I'm not doing that. So you've got to kid them, cajole them. That's why we use rubber bits. People say, you know, we drive them all in rubber bits. Every horse that comes here is driven in a rubber bit, regardless whether it's a stallion or what. There's a film on there called Two Stallions and a Mare, where we do exactly what we're doing now. In fact, it doesn't look unlike this because we've got a coloured filly between two stallions, two Frisian stallions, and yeah, it's called Two Stallions and a Mare, I think, something like that, the film. And we drive them and they're, you know, perfectly behaved. They don't argue, fight or do anything. The mare's heavily in season, and obviously the stallions know that, but they take no notice of her at all. You know, I don't talk, squeal. Well, when I say don't take any notice, I don't call to her, squeal to her, kick, snort and blow. They don't do any of that. Just behave like these are, really. So that's the lesson really today, and it's going lovely. And they've just gone away, or the horse in the middle, the youngster, he's gone away, you know, without me asking him to. I don't mind that today. That's not a terrible bad thing. obviously when we get him, you know, working on his own, we can say, no, that's no good, you've got to stand still now, and then you've got to back up for me, then we've got to wait at the gate, and we can do all that afterwards. But just now, we're building his confidence, we're making him so much more happy than what he was before. Come up there. So you see, I've walked that horse there, and now this one's in the gutter, perfectly happily. Come over, Cloud. Good boy. And you'll find when we put him back in a pair tomorrow, he'll go in a pair and he'll be on the inside, and a pair and he'll be on the inside, and he'll come to it a lot better. If we put him there today, even in a pair, whatever way we've done it, you'd overload him, or what we term as overloading him. Too much too soon. And that's just, look, there's no secret in breaking or training horses, whatever you want to call it, gentling them or whatever. There's no secret, it's just things you learn over the time, that, you know, things you know, learn. But I'm learning every day. There's always something, you know, something new to learn. And if you're interested, although I'm getting on in years now, you know, I love it. Well, this is a lovely thing coming over here now, isn't it? So a big old tractor with a load on the back. And obviously my offside horse can see it, no trouble at all, because he's got no blinkers on, has he? They've got nothing to hide him, you know what I mean? Walk up, bud. Walk up. Walk up. Steady. So that was good, you know. I'm not concerned about that. You very seldom see a tractor on this road. But you see, another thing we use, a term we use, recovery time. He's just scooted a little bit past there. You didn't hear me shout and holler, or was it? Just held on to him a little bit, you know, just steady babies. Never spoke to them at all. Let them cope with it, you know. Lovely, even the horse in the middle. So when that horse pushed him, he pushed the coloured. He pushed Cloud, and then Cloud pushed back the other way. Just knowing his job, you know, he's just a good fella. So, come round, babies. Steady, my boys. So, I'm pleased with that. You know, my young black horse here, on the offside, Dursley, that's his big thing. He's, you know, he's, funny enough, the ironical thing, he lives on a farm. But people say he'd be used to all that, he wouldn't worry about tractors, he's seen thousands of them, you know, working on them all the time, never bothered, yeah? Well, the thing is, you can take them out of where he thinks they should live, in a field or on a farm, and bring them on the public highway, and he goes, no, that doesn't belong here. No, it doesn't. Sorry, I can't have that. It doesn't belong here. I can't cope with that. So you get, say you get a, I don't know what you call them in America, what they call them. They call it a dustbin, you know, rubbish bin, trash can, whatever you call it. You get one in the wrong place, so you get the same thing. It's along the side of the road, right? Along the side of the road, they just walk past 20, 50. Everybody's got their bins out to be collected that day. But you pick the same bin up and put it in the field or the arena, and they'll look at it like it's a bomb waiting to go off, you know what I mean? So, you can't apply our logic to horses. You know, it just won't work. And that's what a lot of people do. I'm going to do a talk about that one day. They just asked me to do something down in, you know, with all this, come over, babe. Come over, darling. Come over. Thank you. With all this COVID going on, they've just asked me to do, I don't know what you call a Zoom thing, where we're going to do, you know, with a group down in Florida, quite a big driving club down there. But that's, you know, one of the things we'll probably talk about is what people perceive that horse understands and knows. They're funny things. They know some things we'll never know. And there's some things that they will never grasp. And I suppose over the years I've learnt that. Come up, baby. And the other thing I want to talk about briefly today is with these Trandems. So we've got a big old lorry coming here. Let's just deal with that first. That's lovely. One day you can come up here and get 20 of them, you know, one after the other. Another day you wouldn't see one. But it's a link between two areas, if you like, two towns that are both light industrial. So you get that. Come up, baby. Come up, there's good boy. Come over, darling. Steady now. Steady. Good boy. So you see he's getting better and better at it. The position he's in there, when we put him in the between the shafts, he's going to be like where the coloured one is, sort of like now. That is where he's going to travel along, you know, closer to the edge of the road. So then big things like that are not bothering because they're a little bit further away. But by keeping him there, it prepares him for when we put him in single and we got him, you know, a little bit further away, and then we can drift him across towards them, you know, so he can travel the middle of the road and even travel back in that position. Do you know what I mean? Well, you know, if you're up a small lane and you've got to squeeze past,